Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Chris Thoung. I'm a director at Cambridge Econometrics, and I'm joined today by Madalina, a principal economist here who leads on our work on jobs and skills, and Richard Lewney, chair of Cambridge Econometrics. Let's maybe look forward a little bit then. So we've been saying skills anticipation is relevant because you need to have ways of thinking about the future. So what's coming up then? What's on your mind right now, Richard?
It's not a bunch of things, but I guess we're doing a lot of work on the green transition, and that this is so relevant to jobs and skills in lots of ways. So obviously there are job opportunities in the clean technology in the green economy, and a number of countries are looking at this, trying to kind of figure out what can they do to better position their country or their firms to I was going to say take advantage of that. It's not quite the right word, but to respond to that, to be in the forefront of that, right? And then conversely, obviously there are the sectors at risk, the jobs and skills at risk, most obviously in the carbon-intensive parts of the economy, in extraction of coal and oil and gas, if that's something that the country has. But also, they may have manufacturing sectors that are particularly energy-intensive and relying on carbon-based fuels, and those too could be, will be vulnerable. Or they're producing items like cars, which themselves are big energy consumers. And if it's the wrong kind of car, then it's going to get left behind in the future. There's also sort of shorter-term risks, because it seems pretty clear that financial markets haven't yet priced in what a serious commitment by governments to decarbonisation by 2050, say, would actually look like. And maybe they're right to so far, because that commitment is pretty mixed, let's say, around the world. But if that starts to really happen, there could be quite a rapid readjustment and repricing. And that could introduce some financial turmoil as some asset values get written down very quickly. And of course, this is the sort of thing that central banks are already worried about.
Okay, so there's some nuance to the green transition then. There's grasping opportunities, but also managing risks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fine, thank you. And Madalina, what about you? What's coming up?
It's something that is not necessarily coming up. It's current issue, and it's the current challenge of labor shortages. Richard mentioned this in the beginning when we start talking about skills anticipation, that we started this because we wanted to train our youth. We wanted to train them and prepare them for the future. But the challenge today is we have labor shortages in certain sectors, but how can we make sure that we are not training the youth for those sectors which are at risk in the future, as Richard mentioned, this one. So there is opportunities. It's a green transition is bringing lots of value for the countries with high youth unemployment, and better equipping your youth for this transition would make them more employable.
Right, okay. So skills anticipation is future-proofing the workforce of tomorrow then?
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. I suppose we can't really talk about skills anticipation without also mentioning technology, AI. Those are the sort of the big hot things at the moment. And I think it would be fair to say not only are they important in themselves, but we're seeing much more interaction with some of the other trends that you've been talking about as well. So the world's not getting any simpler.
No, not indeed.
That's great. Well, thank you both for taking the time today. It's been a really interesting discussion. Madalina, if someone were looking to collaborate with us, or they just wanted to discuss a tricky brief that had crossed their desk, what do they need to do? Just email me. I'm happy to have a chat either on future collaboration or on the tricky brief. No matter what, just contact me.
Yeah, sometimes a brief just comes up that somebody is going beyond their skill set and they don't know who to approach. And yeah, I mean, we're happy to chat about that. It may come to nothing, or it may be a really fruitful partnership.
Yeah, that sounds good. You know what to do then. So I just want to thank Madalina and Richard again, and also thank you all for listening today. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.